Hello everyone, how are you today? I hope you are fine wherever you are. Okay, on this occasion, let me and my friends from Team 9 from class K2 will invite you to get to know about active and passive voice. Next. First, I will introduce the members of Team 9. The first one is me, Antarksa Dara Nirmala. The second is Nurul Hikmah. And then Muhammad Rizal Baihaqi. And the last one is Vito Andika Pratama. Okay, next. First, we have to know about what is an active voice. Active voice is a verb form in which the subject of the sentence is the actor of the verb in the sentence. Thus, in the active voice, the subject acts as the doer of the action.
Okay, then formula of the active voice. The structural formula for active voice statement can be written as subject plus verb plus object. For the example, the first, she drinks coffee every morning. The second, Michael forgot to bring his report. And the third, Brady had went to Finland before. Next. Function of the active voice. The function of active voice is to describe what the subject do to the object. When we use active voice, the first, generally, we use active voice in the topic sentence and the opening sentence of paragraph. That way, the topic for the paragraph is clearly announced. And the second, when referring to another author's work or introducing a figure or table, it is often stylish and interpretative to put the author's name or the figure or table right into the subject of the sentence, then follow it with an active and literally correct verb.
What is the passive voice? Passive voice is when the subject of the sentence does not take action but receives an action. The passive voice is always constructed with a conjuncted form of to be plus the verb's past participle. Doing this usually generate a preposition as well. Formula of the passive voice. The structure of formula for passive voice can be given as object plus verb plus subject. Example 1. Bananas are adored by monkeys. 2. The money was counted by the cashier. 3. The squirrel was chased by the dog. Function of the passive voice. The passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experience an action rather than the person or object that perform the action. In other words, the most important thing or person become the subject of the sentence.
When to use passive voice. First, report of crime or incident with unknown perpetrator. Example, my car was stolen yesterday. Second, scientific context. Example, the rat was placed into a T-shaped maze. Third, When you want to emphasize an action itself and the doer of the action is relevant or distracting. Example, the president was warm on a cold January morning. Next. What the differences between active and a passive voice? Active voice. When the subject of a sentence performs the verb action, we say that the sentence is in the active voice. Sentences in the active voice have a strong, direct, and clear tone. Here are some sort of straightforward example of active voice. Passive voice. A sentence is in the passive voice. On the other hand, when the subject is acted on by the verb, the passive voice is as always constructed with a conjugated form of to be plus the verb past participle. Doing this usually generates a preposition as well. That sounds much more complicated than it is. Passive voice is actually quite easy to detect. For this example of passive voice, we will transform the three active sentences above to illustrate the differences. Well, that's all about our presentation about active and passive voice. Thank you for your attention.